Today I'm going to be talking to you all about monotasking. My favorite quote about monotasking is, "Don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing," by Ron Swanson, off of the hit television show Parks and Recreation. My main points today are going to be how multitasking hurts you, what monotasking is, and the best ways to monotask. Multitasking is multiple things happening at one time. The Fast interview with Fast Company said that in 2007, Microsoft sent out a bunch of emails to their employees, and it took them on average 10 minutes to figure out what the email wanted and what they were going to do back to the email and email back and such. And then it took them an extra 10 to 15 more minutes after they sent the email or text message or phone call back. It took them that extra 15 minutes of downtime to get restarted back on their project, thus eliminating practically a half-hour work time for one little email. Forbes recently showed that multitasking hurts the brain. It has brain damage. It starts early mental decline and decreased sharpness in young adults. The brain is not designed to do multiple things at once. It is to do one thing at one time. Multitasking hurts young adults the most out of any age class, and it's the same endorphins that are released in your brain as buzzes and beeps in old technology. Everyone says that they're really good at multitasking, but you're lying to yourself if you say you're good at multitasking, because Clifford Nass recently did a Frontline interview saying that everyone is terrible at multitasking. You're lying if you say you're really good at multitasking, and when you multitask, you ignore. You're terrible at pulling out the good information and ignoring the bad information that you need, and you're also really bad at keeping the information in a folder that is there for the taking when you're taking an exam or talking to somebody about what you just learned. I recently found out that scroll screens at the bottom of news broadcasts or Sports Center and stuff, they take away your mental awareness of what's actually going on screen, the highlights, the news, the sports scores, I guess. My main point number 2 is going to be about what monotasking is. And monotasking is slowing everything down and just trying to do one topic, one thing at one time. It'd be like me trying to give this speech is a good example of monotasking. Just me up here doing my speech. The psychologist named Mila, and she has a really long Russian last name that I don't know how to say, she described that doing this, making you only have focused on one thing, is called flow, and you're blocking out all of the other distractions to get this one thing done. And that doing flow is probably the best thing for everyone to do. Slow everything down and just learn one thing. There's been different people that have done different experiments, such as Peter Borgman. He did a week of no technology at all. If they wanted to contact him, they'd email him, and he'd check it back in a week, and he didn't know what to do. He was really bored at times, but he figured out how to get over the boredom by actually paying attention in the meetings that he was at, and he said that if you paid attention in the meetings, an hour meeting would slow down to only be half hour, or it'd speed up to be a half hour. On that point, my third main point is monotasking. Once you get a hang of monotasking, there's different steps that you can do to slow everything down or whatever, and get into a rhythm where you just continuously monotask. You want to live right, so you want to be healthy. You want to try to be healthy, and you want to try to have your mental health at peak of what age you are. You want to, what the internet calls tying yourself to the mast, which is you want to just be hell-bent on what you're doing right in front of you. No distractions, no cell phones, no TV, no nothing. It comes from the Odysseus, where he ties himself to the mast so he won't get sucked into the sirens. You want to play offense. You always want to be ahead of your distractions. You want to be like, all right, this is, if like there's a television show on at 8 o'clock, you want to get your stuff done before 8 to watch the television show. You don't tolerate boredom. If you're bored, you gotta pick up something in the speech or the homework that really interests you and makes you want to learn about it some more. You want to plan. Of course, that's a good thing to do all the time is plan. Accept your limits. So if you can only go for 15 minutes, split your activities into 15-minute increments. That's the best way to do it. You want to also have a to-do list. You want to focus on everything really, really, really deep. My main points again were how multitasking hurts you, what monotasking is, and the best ways to monotask. In conclusion, if you just do one thing, your brain's going to have fun time doing whatever you're learning about or taking notes or in a meeting, and you're not going to overload your brain with 23 different things and hurt yourself on the end.